I remember seeing you live on stage. I was 14 and it was at the World Expo stage in Brisbane. And there were I'm talking, there's probably 12,000 people there.
I wasn't as tall then, but I was taller because my fringe was about 5 feet high.
Mate, it was, I knew, I can tell you exactly what you were wearing, and I'll never forget the way you commanded the stage. And I remember looking at you going, what? How do you do that? You know, you're only 2 and a bit years older than I am. So I knew that. You were 16, I was 14. I'm looking there going, how does she know what is happening here? But even then, you had already begun to diversify. So at what point does it show up in you? Is it maybe it's a part of like, I might not be this and this and this, but I am this. So how else can I make this thing better? And I think you had a range at Target, like you were like 15 or 16 or something.
So it's, the old saying about it takes you at least 10 years to be an overnight success. So when I went into Young Talent Time, I would hang out in the wardrobe room and I would beg them, please let me come up with a creation and can you help me make it? So I was making costumes, then I was getting fan mail.
Singer or Faff? The overlocker, which...
Oh, no, it was Janome. And singers were well gone. So I would do that. I would get fan mail, read the fan mail, and they're like, we love this outfit. Where did you get it from? And so that was just a running theme. Mm-hmm. So it's like, not that I was like, oh, how can I diversify? I was getting the practice, I was learning the skills, and then there was a demand from it. Then Kmart came in, I had my first range at 17.
That's right.
It was supposed to be like, just put your name on it and be done with it. And I was like, no, I want to be in every meeting and I want to have a say. And
how do you, like, you're 17, how do you even, we're talking 1987, 6, 8.
That was like free college. I'm like, wow, I get to be in the room. I get to learn all of this stuff. It's fast track. And I love being thrown in the deep end and having to learn. And the best thing you can do is just ask questions. You go, what does that mean? What are these spreadsheets and how does it work? And then I started to throw in ideas to them, like, let's do this, let's do that. And I'd have a board table full of adults saying, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, you really should, because this is for young people and I'm the young person here at this table. And so I remember the first time they took a shot on me and I was like, bicycle shorts are the thing. And I bought them pictures of motocross and I'm like, it's based off that, but let's do bicycle shorts. They're like, no, it's never going to work. It was our biggest flying product. And they were like, next meeting. So what were you thinking here? And, when you have that genuine passion for something and you're genuinely involved, you're not throwing a name at something and walking away, people know and people feel it. And there's so many brands now that are fantastic where the celebrity is like, it's really a passion and those ones stick.
When I just can't get my head around at 17, you are now. This is before the fracturing of the market. And I know I said Target before, but that was it. Or Kmart, that was it. Maybe Big W if you live in Lithgow, but that's about it. As far as big kind of that tier clothing retailer, there was no iconic. These things didn't exist.
Yeah,
this is where you got your clothes.
And there was nothing
else.
This is
where nothing went with nothing because there was no Suzanne. That was it. There was there was no other places. So these are massive companies basically making heaps of money because they're the only place you could buy clothes. Yet you can back yourself enough to go, no, I need to be in that meeting.
I was the best-selling label within the whole store.
How do you even get to be 17 and go, oh, no, I deserve a seat at that table even though I've never sold an item of clothing in my life? What's going on inside you that says I need to be in there?
It's like what you see with music now. If you have a record company telling an artist to be a certain way and it doesn't work, guess what? There's a reason why it doesn't work. It's not coming from them. It's not authentic. You see people like Robin leave her record company and say, these are the songs I've always wanted to sing, and then boom, she's this international success.
Right.
You see Chapel Roan say, I don't know if anyone will like this, but this is who I am and this is what I want to do. Boom. It's like, it's huge. So it's just like using your instincts. And, you know, some of these young artists, it's the first time they've made an album. How do they know what's the best record cover or how, you know, what the video should be? Because it's instinct.
Right.
And trusting your creativity.
Right. But something in you is like, if my name's going to be on this, it has to be from me. I
have to do it, yeah.
Yeah, right. So going to this, you know, being involved in the creation of all that and seeing the success of all that, what was it like to have something that wasn't performing start to become a real possibility of a pathway for you?
It was wild. Like, my dad was an accountant. I remember him like saying to me, he's like, the numbers are going up. This is a huge career.
Wow.
And so it was kind of something that, again, like young talent time, because I was drilled in, everything has an end date. I was like, that's awesome, but it probably won't last that long. And over the years, there have been a lot of celebrity brands, come, go. But there are very few that, you know, really stick at something for a long time. So it's morphed in different situations over the years, but it's always been there. And you know how serious I am about my fashion with being a judge on a show. I need to step into the clothes.
You texted me saying, "What is the set?"
A certain way.
You texted me saying, "What does the room look like that we're going to do the podcast in? I want to put an outfit together."
Yeah.
You are maybe the 700th guest I've had on this show,
no
and the only person to have ever asked that question.
But you know me, it's not about vanity.
No.
It's about the respect and trying to create something that is special. And obviously I get lots of messages from people, something that you did and you were wearing this costume and it's imprinted in their minds. So you know that's special. Like, I remember being the young girl watching ABBA going, those jumpsuits, the microphone at that angle. And then you've seen Kylie and I do it, you know, years later. Pull the pose, because that's like, we just admired them so much. So growing up, for me, the big thing in my mind was Olivia Newton-John in Grease and the costumes and the songs, and then ABBA with the costumes and the songs. And for me, they marry, they go together, they have to. You know, my brother was listening to Kiss. It's like, what is that without the costumes? It's the costumes and the songs.
It's really not fun.
But even if you want to do grunge, that's a costume.
Can't do that in a three-piece suit.
No. So I think it's really important to what you do.
But
I see you, like, when you're doing the hosting and it's like a suit, but some suits are different to others, and this is more playful and this is more serious. And it even, you know, your voice has got to change, but you know when you step into that suit, this is fun, Osher, this is serious,
without
Osher.
a doubt. Whenever I get to work with you, the moment that it's the tally light goes on and it's your bit, it's like, there it is. Every time. Like fucking clockwork.
I love it. When I see that red on air light up and you feel it in the room, but one thing I do know is that you bring it in the room, and that's what you and I have in common.
Yeah.
We rock up ready to bring it in the room. We're very well aware of everyone else's energies, and we try, if we can, to lift and shape, and we can shape shift it. And that's so much fun.
Yeah.
When I did theatre in London, it was a big learning curve for me, and I remember them saying, you know, you'd come off and you'd be like, oh, the audience were a bit quiet today, and they said, never a bad audience, only a bad show. And that stuck with me. That's the audience vibe off you.
Yeah.
You got to bring it. And so I always then use that in everything I did since then. And then you got to see a lot of that. It's like, bring it in the room. And you knew the few times you saw me where you're like, my eyes weren't there, something was going on, because I love bringing it. I love that energy, even if I have to get home and then I'm like passing out.
Some long days, man.
And then when you add on the girly 2 hours of hair and makeup, and then the lashes, the weave, half an hour to get all the makeup off. Yeah, that's like you're going into, with the adrenaline come down, a 20-hour day, and sometimes 4 or 5 hour turnaround before you have to go back and do the 2 hour hair and makeup. So Yeah, you have to love it.
Yeah.
And you have to love all of that process of getting ready. Like I try and make it enjoyable. I bring music backstage.
Oh, yeah.
I've got essential oils. I've got, my little disco lights and
there's
whatever it
vibe.
takes.
Don't you worry. Like there is backstage vibe. That is all a part of.
I do a dance. I shake my booty. I try and do a slut drop. I'm like, woo, girl, you got it.
To stay flexible enough to do a slut drop. I'm just going to put that on my list of things to do.